Military conflict Vietnam finally has its zombies mode. It's been a long time coming, back since at least the 2021 pre-alpha, when it used combine units for the waves and it was called Aliens mode. There have been hints of it coming for a long time, and it's exciting to see it finally come to fruition. It's being tested out right now with 3 levels. One at a bridge that leads to a small settlement, one in a cathedral in downtown Saigon, and one at a plantation in the remote areas of Vietnam. Let's not forget the airbase level, which has more of a vertical feeling to it. You're defending a stairwell that's part of a airbase. You can see the zombies coming from a distance over the tarmac, and you have to hold the line as best as you can. You can either try to hold out within the building or fire from the roof and see if you can hold out there. They're all wave-based survival, and honestly, they feel a lot more like Killing Floor than Killing Floor 3, which is pretty sad, honestly. I'm going to go into detail about why that Killing Floor comparison is relevant.
I'm reloading.
Oh no.
Reloading.
Oh. You can actually go up to this thing. That's nice.
Take cover. Constructing barricade.
You're running out of time, GR.
Grenade. Reload.
Start out, Zombies mode. You can find it in the web browser. You can play it solo, though it's much tougher that way. It scales based on how many players are present. There are a certain amount of enemies if it's only one person playing, and a lot more if there are 6. You can earn money by killing zombies and by surviving waves, and you can also throw money to other players to support them. That money is spent between rounds at either at a vendor who can get you different weapons and upgrades and stuff, with carry weight being present instead of the usual 2-gun limit. In this case, you can have up to 15 slots worth of items, or 15 pounds worth of items. It's not a literal one-for-one thing, but it means you can carry multiple primaries or a bunch of secondaries, including dual-wielded weapons. And it's pretty cool. You can also build props and other things to block off the zombies and set up traps and find ways to put some distance between yourselves and the horde. This also goes for mounted weapons, like the M2 Browning, the Dushka machine gun, and a couple recoilless rifles. You're going to need them as the waves go on, because enemy variety is surprisingly deep. Devs went above and beyond creating different zombie variants. I mean, you have your typical running zombie, the fast sort who goes down quickly, especially with headshots. But there's a lot more variety than that. For instance, in the start of the round you usually have 3 types of zombies. Regular infected, the armor infected, who are GIs with flak jackets and helmets, who have better protection against your bullets, and you have bloats, who are a lot like the Killing Floor bloats. Heavy guys who can expel green vomit to damage you, and they also fart on you, and leaving behind a noxious cloud of gas you need to avoid. But things escalate from there. The next round includes hound zombies, infected dogs that are weaker but quicker, and enough bites from them can inflict bleed damage on you. Going further, you also have slasher zombies who crouch down, carry sickles, and can inflict bleeding damage with enough slashes. They've got higher health, which makes them more dangerous. Then there are the sludge zombies, who are like the bloats, except they leave behind these piles of lava you can step on that are traps. The infected crows, which are weak annoyances designed to distract you from the main horde. The screamers, the shriekers, who are basically like the killing floor sirens. They have this sonic attack that damages you if you're nearby them. You have the gunner zombies, who have machine guns that they can occasionally fire at you. Much later on, you've got the havoc zombies, big tough guys who remind me of the Skrakes or flesh pounds, with a helicopter machine gun strapped to their arm. And my personal favorite, the infected water buffalo, who's a tanky zombie that can survive a lot of damage, might be slow, but they can ram and charge you, and if they hit you, they will punt you into the stratosphere, and the fall damage will take care of the rest. Yeah, you got a very diverse crowd here, and it makes all the waves escalating really fun, because the strategies you could use to survive initial waves don't necessarily apply as things go on. You gotta adapt and be resourceful. Sure, you can take down a horde of the zombies in the distance by firing off rounds and aiming for headshots, but you could find your view getting distracted by crows attacking you, or the usual head aiming strategy doesn't work as well when you're up against sickle zombies or against the hounds. You gotta be careful about them. That's where teamwork comes in. There aren't classes, which makes it a little different than killing floor, so it's not just a one-for-one copy. But you do have ways to specialize and help out your team. You could try to specialize in prop building by purchasing an upgrade to get more of them, or setting aside more money to build metal walls and explosive barrels and other stuff to hold the line. Or you could try to be a gunner and help out with supplying your team, buying ammunition boxes, getting heavy weapons with big magazines like the MG34 and M60 belt. Or you could try to heal people with medical kits and purchase an armor kit for yourself to better defend against attacks. There are ways to specialize the sort of person you're going to be in the game, how you're going to contribute, and everybody can really lend a hand in their own ways, so it doesn't get too stale. It also depends on the map you're playing. Bridge is more of a stationary defense, and shit really hits the fan when zombies break through your initial defenses. You can see the zombies coming from a mile away, and they're bottlenecked down one bridge, but once they get past that bridge, there is havoc. The plantation is different. Zombies typically come from two directions, but there's a lot of room for kiting them outside of the initial plantation. So if you're alone, you'll often be running around the plantation in the fields and the crops, firing into them and hoping you don't accidentally get stuck on some of the raised or lowered terrain, which forces you to be careful. You can't just backpedal away from them. The cathedral is tough. I haven't beaten it. I haven't gotten too far, though I have tried. It's definitely a more dense level. It isn't as big overall. There are a lot of obstacles and things to get in your way. There are good areas you can barricade and hold the line in, but it can be intense, especially because when you're inside the cathedral, there are limited ways in and out, and different paths that could potentially be blocked off or used to your advantage. They're all fun though. They all offer their own ways to be played, and they're rewarding in the end. It's a very addictive mode. I mean, if you can find people to play it with, even in its current state, I think you'll have a good time. Plus, there are some guns here that don't appear anywhere else. Your initial starting options are homemade Viet Cong weapons that are cruder but still pretty effective, and they've got their own fun quirks. I like the homemade shotgun. It's actually pretty relevant for the initial rounds. It's pretty powerful even though it has one shot. But as long as you can make it count, you can get a decent way with it. And it's a good supplementary option if you're going to pick a submachine gun as your usual go-to, in case you need a finishing weapon. It also gives the chance for the triumphant return of the AKM GP25. This gun got cut from release because it didn't fit the Vietnam War timeline. It was only going through its initial prototypes when the war was wrapping up, so there's very, very little chance it showed up in North Vietnamese hands. But here, who cares about realism? You got zombies with machine guns for hands. Go ahead and equip the grenade launcher with an AKM. It's actually pretty handy, since you have a 30-round mag and you can drop caseless grenades on zombies from a distance. Not to mention, you get better access to the dual-wielded options, including being able to carry several dual-wielded weapons at once. Stuff like the Kolos anti-air rocket launcher, the XM202 flash, and other modifications like the Stoner 63 with a drum magazine, which is really good for spray and pray and retreating from zombies while throwing a wall of bullets downrange. I have a lot of good things to say about Zombies mode. It's creative, innovative. It shows that devs have been working on this for a while, and I think their work's paid off. However, it would be a disservice not to mention the issues with it. I'd say the biggest problem right now is hit registration. Sometimes it's tough to tell if your shots are actually going to hit zombies, even on a server with low ping. You gotta be careful. And when you're on a server with a lot of people, it can make matters even worse. Trying to lead them usually helps, but it's frustrating. You should know that every shot you fire is gonna hit. This also extends to melee attacks, which can sound weird, but compared to Left 4 Dead 2, there isn't as much weight behind the melee attacks, and that's unfortunate. It doesn't have that satisfying oomph when you take down a zombie with a machete or a bayonet, unless you go for a headshot. The headshots have a really cool sound effect and giving effect. The shovels are also worthless. It's disappointing because the melee options are pretty fun, but the shovels are slow and weak, and you could do much better with the machete or the regular bayonet. Speaking of the bayonet, it's overpowered. Very overpowered. You can hack and slice your way through zombies in a way that I don't think the devs intended. It's too powerful for its own good. I mean, you could keep it as is and it'd be fine. I'd say maybe instead of nerfing it, maybe you just buff the shovel and machete so they can compete fairly. The bayonet also has a glitch where it can be attached to weapons and not detached. I think it's because mounting your bayonet has the same use key as throwing money around. I think that causes an issue, but I'm not sure what. There's also a problem where if you have two of an identical weapon, like if you start out with a homemade pistol and you find a second one, they aren't consolidated into the dual-wielded variant. And if you try to sell them at the vendor, then it'll sell both of them, but only give you one cash reward. Doesn't come up that often, but it's unfortunate that you can't take proper advantage of the cash benefits that come from selling weapons. Another issue is ammo. If you're playing solo, you can typically get through a wave if you have a handful of firearms and a good melee. But if you have enough people on the map, even within the regular player limits, you are going to run out. Even with the extra magazine upgrade, it's not enough. It's crazy. Like, even if everybody's scoring headshots and doing a good job, I found you just run out of ammo way too easily. You don't have enough, even with high capacity, high reserve ammo weapons. I'd say maybe another extra magazine or two by default for most weapons could fix this issue. Because I feel like even if you're being spot on accurate, it's not good enough. The shotguns and bolt action rifles also have the issue of becoming irrelevant way too quickly. And, I mean, it's a zombie survival game. Shotguns should remain at least decently relevant. If there was a power-up or, not a power-up, an upgrade to increase the speed of your reloads, to make them quicker, that would be nice. I think that would be a good supplementary upgrade, since there are only a handful of them by default. Like an upgrade to speed up reloads, an upgrade to give you more health, so on and so forth. Those could do a lot of good. Not just for customizing how your character is going to play, but also making sure some guns get buffed and become more viable beyond a certain point. Because there is still a lot of room for freedom. You can run around with a handful of dual pistols and still kick ass, as long as you're landing good hits and using your ammo carefully. I'm also hopeful that there might be some more maps in the future. I don't know what else is being planned in terms of the mode, but the 3 maps are good, they've got good variety. I think with the fixes suggested, they could be even more fun. And maybe an extra map or 2 would help to finish that off. Overall, I'm impressed with Military Conflict Zombies. Especially because you wouldn't expect this from a Vietnam game, with the exception of Shell Shock 2. Overall, it's a good mode, and it feels like MCV might be nearing the end of its update cycle. I mean, as it is, you could say, like, oh, this is a finished game, and I would believe it. The amount of weapons, the amount of maps, the amount of modes, they all feel polished, they all feel good. I know that there's a Rhodesia DLC coming, as well as the Day of Defeat 2 mod, and potentially a few other things they might add, like more customization options. But as the game stands, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm hopeful that good things will come in the future, but I also want to congratulate Dust Fade, because right now, where the game stands, they've really uplifted it beyond the initial release, and I think the Zombies mode is another great addition. So shout out to you guys. You did an excellent job, and I look forward to the finished version of Zombies mode. Good luck with wrapping it up. And thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all playing Military Conflict Vietnam Zombies. I know I'll be trying it out and trying to beat the other levels, as tough as it can be in the current state. Thanks for watching. Take care.